students, today we will study chapter 3 Properties of Natural Resources, Module 1. Natural resources can be defined as the resources that exist on the planet independent of human actions. These are the resources that are found in the environment and are developed without the intervention of humans. Common examples of natural resources include air, sunlight, water, soil, stone. So these are the examples of natural resources. Types of natural resources are renewable and non-renewable. Renewable resources, resources that are available in infinite quantity and can be used repeatedly, are called renewable resources. For example, forest, wind, water. Non-renewable resources, resources that are limited in abundance due to their non-renewable nature and whose availability may run out in the future, are called non-renewable resources. For example, fossil fuels, minerals, etc. Let us distinguish between them. Renewable resources can be renewed as it is available in infinite quantity. Non-renewable resources, once completely consumed, it cannot be renewed due to limited stock. Renewable resources are sustainable in nature. Non-renewable resources are exhaustible in nature. Renewable resources are of low cost and environment friendly. Non-renewable resources are of high cost and less environment friendly. Renewable resources replenish quickly. Non-renewable resources replenish slowly or do not replenish naturally at all. Important natural resources are air, water, soil. Clean air is important for all the plants, animals, humans to survive on this planet. So it is necessary to take measures to reduce air pollution. Water, 70% of the earth is covered in water and only 2% of that is fresh water. Initiative to educate and regulate the use of water should be taken. Soil. Soil is composed of various particles and nutrients. It helps plants to grow. So these are the important natural resources. Let us understand the properties of natural resources. Properties of air, properties of water, and properties of soil. In this module, we will study properties of air in detail. Children, we cannot see air, yet we feel the presence of air. When we inhale air, it is taken through the nose. To understand the properties of air, let us do one activity. For this, take a stick from a broom or a plastic straw. Tie a thread at its center and hang it so that it remains horizontal. As you can see here, children. Now remove one balloon and inflate it and tie it again at its original position. Does the stick remain horizontal? The stick goes down on the side of inflated balloon. This means that air has mass and weight. Okay, from the activity we can understand air has mass and weight. Air is a mixture of gases. It consists of oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, and also other gases. Now let us do one more activity. Take an injection syringe without the needle. Pull its piston and observe it. The piston can be pulled out easily. The piston then remains in that position even if you let it go. Children, if you pull the piston, it can be pulled out very easily in this position. Okay. Now, close the inlet hole of syringe. tightly with your thumb. Pull the piston and let it go. Okay. Children, just tell me, is the force required to pull out the piston more or less than before? Yes, to pull out the piston, it requires more force. Now, remove the thumb from the inlet hole of the syringe. Does the piston will go inside easily? Yes, it will go or it will move freely inside. Children, the molecules of the gases in the air are in constant motion. When these molecules strike a body, they create pressure on that body. This is the pressure of air that we call atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure is defined as a force per unit area exerted against a surface by the weight of the air above the surface. On pulling the piston with the inlet hole of the syringe closed, more space becomes available to the air in the syringe and it becomes rarefied. As a result, the pressure of the air in the syringe is lowered. Comparatively, the pressure of the outside air is very high. That is why when the pull piston is released, it is immediately pushed in. Okay. Now, if this experiment is repeated holding the syringe in different positions like vertical, horizontal or inclined, the position is found to go in the same extent in all the cases. From this, we can infer that atmospheric pressure is same in all the directions. Okay, children? From this activity, we can conclude that atmospheric pressure is same in all the directions. Children, if pressure is same in all the direction, then there is any atmospheric pressure on the moon? Don't know? I will explain you. On moon, there is no atmosphere. Okay, children? As we know that on the moon there is no atmosphere. As there is no atmosphere, there is no atmospheric pressure. Astronauts have to carry oxygen cylinders with them. Okay. Under ordinary conditions, atmospheric pressure at the sea level is about 1,1400 Newton per square meter. Okay. It can be measured with the help of barometer. As we go higher above sea level, atmospheric pressure decreases. Children, keep it in mind. As we go higher and higher above the sea level, atmospheric pressure decreases. Now we'll understand principle of scientist Daniel Bernoulli, that is about 1726. The pressure of the air decreases when its velocity increases, while pressure of the air increases when its velocity decreases. So this was the principle. Let us understand with the help of activities. If a body is moving through air, the air pressure decreases perpendicular to the direction of the motion, and then the air in its surrounding flows rapidly from higher pressure to the lower pressure. Okay, let us do one activity. Take some water in a plastic cup or glass and hold a straw upright in it. Okay, in this way, hold a small piece of another straw near the upper end of first straw perpendicular to that straw. Blow hard through the small piece of straw. You will see a fountain of straw. Why did this happen? On blowing through the straw, the air at its open end is pushed away and hence the pressure of the air at the opening goes down. As the pressure of the air near the upper end of the erect straw becomes less than the atmospheric pressure, the water in the cup is pushed from where the pressure is higher to where it is lower. That is in the upward direction, and the water comes out in the form of fountain. Okay. The more forcefully you blow, the higher will be the fountain. This straw fountain works on Bernoulli principle. Okay. Children, where there exists a difference in air pressure at two different places, the air starts flowing from the place of higher pressure to the place of lower pressure. At such time, we feel a breeze or a wind blowing. Thus, winds are an effect of the difference in air pressure. Okay, we call it as a breeze or a wind blowing. Let us do one more activity now. Take ice cubes in a glass up to 3/4 of its height. Okay. Now observe what happens. How did the water droplets appear on the outside of the glass? Due to the ice cubes in the glass, the air surrounding the glass cools down. As the water vapor in this air cools down, it condenses and gets transformed into water. It is this water that collects on the outer surface of the glass. Okay. Children, as the water vapor in this air cools down, it condenses and gets transformed into the water. The level of the humidity is different in different places. Similarly, the humidity levels also changes from time to time during the period of a single day. The level of humidity of air is determined by its capacity to hold water vapor. During the night or at dawn, when the temperature of air is low, its capacity to hold the vapor is less. At such times, the excess vapor is transformed into water droplets. That is what we call dew. In the afternoon, when the temperature of the air is high, the capacity of the air to hold moisture also increases. I repeat, in the afternoon when the temperature of air is high, the capacity of the air to hold the moisture also increases. This was about the moisture level in the air. Okay. Then compared to its full capacity to hold water, the proportion of the moisture in the air is less and we feel that air is dry. Children, the proportion of water vapor in the air is high during the monsoon and in coastal areas. Children, we will do one more activity. Dip an uncorked inverted empty bottle in a slanting position into the water in a wide container. What do you observe? You can observe bubbles near the mouth of bottle and water is filled in it. Means air from the bottle come out in the form of bubbles and the space in the bottle is occupied by water. Let us do one more activity. What changes take place in a balloon on filling air in it? the air is filled in balloon and it takes the shape. We come to know from the activities above that air has properties like occupying space, having a certain volume, having mass and weight. Air is a mixture of very fine particles of some gases, dust, smoke and moisture. When rays of light fall on these minute particles, the particles spread the light in all the directions. This natural phenomena is called scattering of light. I repeat, when the rays of light falls on these minute particles, the particles spread the light in all the direction and it is known as scattering of light. Okay, in this way. Now children, let us see the temperature regulation. The earth receives energy from the sun. This energy is reflected by the earth in the form of heat. The constituents of air surrounding the earth, such as water, carbon dioxide, absorb a part of this heat and give it to the other constituents of air. As a result, the earth's surface remains warm and thereby becomes suitable for the living world on the earth. If there were no air on the earth, the average temperature of the earth's surface would have been very low. Okay. One more important concept we will understand about transmission of sound. All the sounds that we hear reach us through the surrounding air. The density of the air also changes due to the change in its temperature. In winter, the density of air increases. We can hear the whistle of a distant train clearly early in the morning in winter. So children, we can say that air is useful medium for the transmission of sound. I repeat, air is useful medium for the transmission of sound. Let us see the points to remember. Air has both mass and weight. Atmospheric pressure is defined as the force per unit area exerted against a surface by the weight of the air above the surface. Atmospheric pressure is same in all directions. Winds are an effect of the difference in air pressure. Air is useful as a medium for the transmission of sound. There is a short homework for you. What is the importance of air in transmission of sound? How is light scattered by the air? What will happen if the amount of water vapor in the air increases? Why it is said that air is the homogeneous mixture of various gases? Thank you.